Hey everybody, and welcome back to Littrel Family Channel. Today we are going to be doing a Dark Rey concept costume. I forgot to film my intro and my camera's dying, so I'm gonna make this quick. It'll be great, it'll be fun, stick around, and I'll show you the before dress and the after dress, and then we'll get started. So it did actually take me a few days to finish this costume, just the dress part, not the cape part. I will be doing that separately, but you could finish it completely all in one day if you just stick with it throughout the entire day. I just don't like to bog myself down and force myself to finish a project. I just like to do it as I want to do it.
This H&M dress I got off of Poshmark. I will link 3 options from Amazon in the description below. They will need a little modification. This belt will be removed. We're going to use a seam ripper and some scissors to get it off. It does go all the way through to the back, but that will be easy to take off as well. This dress has a very nice V-line. It goes about 3/4 of the way down on my arm. For this project, you'll need a pin cushion, scissors, and a seam ripper. I will link all of these in the description below as well if you don't have these. So we're going to get started by first cutting off this belt right here. I'm going to use the seam ripper to get in on these edges right here, nice and smoothly without creating any holes. As you can see, this is the elastic band that goes all the way through, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take some scissors and cut that off, and then it will pull out the other side nice and easy. And then we're gonna go ahead and repeat the same process on the opposite side to completely remove the belt. So as we saw the previous slit in the middle, we're gonna go ahead and pin that together and sew it up. And these seams along the side we are going to take apart, which will create our side slits. So I'm going to use my seam ripper to go ahead and remove the threads from the side of the fabric. This will create a slit look on both sides, similar to the slit in the middle that we are going to be sewing up. So as you can see, we went ahead and separated both of the sides. We still haven't pinned the slit in the middle, but this is what it looks like so far with the slits. We are going to pin this part right here so that middle slit won't be there when we are finished. And as you can see, we did remove the belt, so that's looking great there. Now that we've finished cutting the side seams, we're going to go ahead and pin down the middle of the dress to cover up that slit in the middle. And then we are going to go ahead and fold in the ends on each sides of the slit by just once over, and then pin it all the way along, just so we can create a nice finished edge for the slit. So I have the dress currently inside out. We pinned the entire slit. So we have the slit all pinned on both sides. And then we have the cut in the middle all pinned. This other side is not pinned yet because, well, I don't have that many pins. So I'm going to sew the 3 sides I have pinned, and then I am going to pin the last 2 sides and then sew those as well. Since we are working with black material, we will be using black thread. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If you do have a serger, I would suggest using a serger for this instead, but I don't have a serger because they're a little bit expensive.
So I do always wear my little pin cushion while I am sewing because when I take the needle out, I want to just be able to throw it right away into the pin cushion.
For my sewing projects, I use a Singer sewing machine. I love it a lot. I'll link one in the description below. But I go ahead and I'll make sure I go back and forth when I first start so it doesn't end up letting the fabric go, and also when you finish, just because that is the weakest point. Now that we've got the side and the middle all sewn up, we are going to pin the other slit, and then we're going to go ahead and sew that together as well. So this is the progress that we've made. We've got the slits both sewn nicely, and we have the middle all sewn together so it won't come undone.
So the next step is I'm going to get a faux leather piece of fabric, and I'm going to create a belt right here which will cover these holes that are right here and the same exact holes in the back. So we went to Joann's and I got myself some faux leather for the belt that's going to be going on my Dark Rey costume. Look at her.
Served up with the sign of disappointment.
Look at how cute she is. Oh, so pretty. You're so cute. She looks so mad. She's like, Mom, why do you do these things to me? I don't appreciate your love, human.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Okay. So we got a very large piece of faux leather. I had it cut at about 7 inches wide and the fabric is 54 inches long. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be folding in the edges like that, and we're going to be sewing them down with some nice black thread. So I'll go ahead and put a picture here so you know what the fabric looks like and you know what exactly you're looking for, or I will also link it in the description below so you can buy it from that link or just take that link with you to your local Joann's and get it from them there. I love Joann's. The original bundle of fabric was like $23.99 a yard, so if you see that number, don't be scared. You only need like 7 inches, if not less. So it's okay, it'll only cost you like $3 when you're done. I promise. So I was doing some looking at the photo of Rey and her costume, and there's not too much that I'm able to compare the... Oh dang.
Alright, Zeus, jeez.
Anyways, there's not too much in the photo that I can compare the size of the belt to, but her hand is in a bunch, and women do have pretty average size hands, so I figure it's going to be about a 3-inch belt, about 3 inches wide, if not maybe just a tad bit bigger.
So we're gonna start by folding the fabric over about a 1/2 inch and pinning it down. Now that we have that pinned down, we're gonna go ahead and sew it. Make sure you go back and forth at the beginning and the end just to make sure it doesn't come undone.
Alright, so we've got that one side sewn. As you can see, looks very, very nice. So what you're gonna do is we want it to be either 3 to 3.5 inches, depending on your preference. So if you want it 3 inches, you want at least a 1/2 inch for your crease here. So you will want to cut it out 3.5 inches from your one edge. If you want it 3.5 inches, then you need to cut it at least 4 inches from your already done edge. So I went and I looked in the mirror and saw that I liked it at about a 3-inch width. If you can see that right there. I think it looks very nice at 3 inches, so I'm going to do it at 3 inches for my belt. So I set the measuring tape just to a tad bit over where I want it. So I have it at 3.5 and just a little smidgen extra.
So how I cut my fabric is I set my measuring tape right on the done edge and I'll move it along as I cut along with it.
wanted to let you guys know that this is not the exact size of my waist. This is bigger. So I wanted to make sure I gave myself plenty of wiggle room because I still haven't completely decided if I'm going to sew the belt to the dress or make the belt a separate piece. You can always cut off more fabric. As soon as you start trying to add fabric back, that's when you start noticing all the sew lines and everything like that. So always, always, always overestimate, never underestimate. Is there anybody else here who's addicted to Friends? Because I am completely 100% addicted to the show Friends, and I really love to watch Friends while I'm working on stuff, so that's why you see me go up and down and up and down from my art room to my TV room. So I'm gonna head back downstairs to pin this other edge and watch some more Friends because I'm an addict.
This is my Mal. She is very nice.
Now that we've got that pinned, we're gonna go ahead and sew it exactly like we did with the other side. So the next step is figuring out how exactly you want to go about it. If you want to sew it onto your dress, go ahead. If you want to use buttons, go ahead. I feel like using buttons, it will latch behind your back, so keep that in mind. You want to make a system that won't be too hard to get done and undone yourself. And also remember that you will have the cloak, so it will be covering the latch system however you choose to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this quick. So if you can see these holes right here, we are going to cover that up with this belt. We are going to be sewing it, since there is a zipper, we are going to sew it on one side of the zipper and on the other side of the zipper. But basically it will come out looking like this when it is all done. Fits very nicely. So we have it all pinned up now. We've got the belt all sewn together and pinned onto the dress. But before I sew the belt to the dress, I do want to try it on one more time with the belt pinned to the dress just to make sure that it's fitted properly before I attach it permanently. Or as you can see, there will be a gap here, which will be covered by the cape that's going to be flowing down. But it does fit very nicely, it does cover those holes, and I think I'm ready to permanently attach it.
Did you see this cute little thing on my desk? Oh, it's so cute!
So we're gonna go ahead and sew the belt on real quick. I do go back and forth multiple times just to make sure it is secure.
The dress is finished! You wanna see it? Say goodbye to the little kraken. Goodbye, Kraken. Goodbye. Goodbye.